Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have closed down their Carrington training ground for 24 hours due to a COVID outbreak. Manchester United are now in discussions with the Premier League to postpone their game against Brentford. It's not yet clear if the game against Brentford will go ahead. I hope this game against Brentford can go ahead because it will be a good game. Manchester United won their last game against Norwich 1-0. The goal came from a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty. Ronaldo won the penalty because he got dragged down by Max Aarons. Ronaldo now has 13 goals in all competitions for Man United since he re-signed, and he's got 802 goals in his career. It was a poor performance against Norwich. After the game, Ralf Rangnick did mention that he was unimpressed with his side's lack of intensity against Norwich, so Ralf Rangnick is demanding more from Manchester United. Reflecting on the win against Norwich, it's back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Rangnick. Rangnick is unbeaten so far as Manchester United manager, so reflecting on that, Ralf Rangnick has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United. Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager on a 6-month contract. After that, Rangnick will take a consultancy role for a further 2 years. If Rangnick does well as the interim manager, there's a chance that he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis. Rangnick has been given a £100 million transfer budget for January. He can get some good players out of that. Now, before the Norwich game, ESPN said that Rangnick has got a midfield plan at Man United. It said Amadou Haidara, Calvin Phillips and Jude Bellingham are key targets for Rangnick. Rangnick told bosses at Man United that their midfield is weak in his interview for the job. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. If this game goes ahead against Brentford tomorrow night and Manchester United were to beat Brentford, that would be 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. Let me put into the equation that Manchester United are missing players. Victor Lindelof, he's out because Lindelof came off against Norwich because he was suffering chest pains and breathing difficulties. If this game goes ahead against Brentford, I can't see Rangnick risking him. I think he'll start by ahead of Lindelof. And Wan-Bissaka, he's out with injury. He came off with injury in the 1-1 draw against Young Boys. Pogba, he's out with a thigh injury. Pogba is out for the rest of the year. Varane he's out with a hamstring injury, but he's close to returning. Edison Cavani, no, he's out of injury, but he's close to returning. Edison Cavani had an injury earlier on in the season. Martial, he recently picked up an injury. So, they're the injuries Man United have got. Matic, he's out with a cold. And Juan Mata has got illness. As for Brentford, I've been very impressed with them this season. I think they have surprised a lot of teams. Brentford have enjoyed a very good season to their standards. Brentford are 10th in the Premier League at the moment. Brentford won their last game against Watford 2-1. You know, this season has been Brentford's first ever season in the Premier League. Prior to this season, the last time Brentford were in the top flight was back in 1947. That's around 74 years ago now. Brentford have got some very good players in their team. Revert back to what I mentioned on the preview. Obviously, Brentford have got Ivan Toney. You know, he's very, very good. He's probably one of Brentford's best players. Ivan Toney was recently out with COVID. Brentford have also got Sergio Canos. You know, he's a very, very good player. They've also got Max Haygarth. He's an attacking player. They've also got Brian Mbumo. I do rate him. Brentford have also got Marcus Fors. They've also got Tariq Fosu. Tariq Fosu has been out with injury for Brentford. Brentford have also got Shandon Baptiste. He's good. They've got Finn Stevens. They've got Pontus Jansson. Pontus Jansson is a former Leeds United player. They've also got Rico Henry. They've got Charlie Goode. They've got Joe Valencia. They've got Christian Norgard. They've got Ethan Pinnock. He's out with COVID at the moment. Brentford have also got Joshua De Silva. He's out with injury at the moment. So yeah, they are quite a few of the players that Brentford have got. Let me put into the equation that Brentford lost Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa, and they also lost Ben Rama to West Ham. The Brentford manager is Thomas Frank. Got to give him credit, he's done a good job at Brentford. You know, he's transformed Brentford. He's been Brentford manager for over 3 years. He's got a contract with Brentford until 2023. Before he was the Brentford manager, he was the Brentford assistant. Before, he managed Bromby. And before, he managed Denmark's under-16s, under-17s, and he managed Denmark's under-19s. At the weekend, Manchester United play Brighton. Now, as you all know, Manchester United drawn Atletico Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League. the draw had to be redone. In the original draw, Manchester United drew PSG. To be honest with you, I can't really understand why they redrew it, because I was happy with the original draw. But I think a lot of United fans, prefer Atletico Madrid over PSG. PSG would have been a harder game than Atletico Madrid. I'm happy with the draw though against Atletico Madrid. It will be a tough game though against Atletico Madrid. They're a pretty decent side. Their current manager is Diego Simeone. He's been Atletico Madrid manager for over a decade now. He's been at Atletico Madrid since 2011. And Atletico Madrid, they have got some good players in their team. They've obviously got Griezmann. He's on loan at Atletico Madrid from Barcelona. Well, obviously before Barcelona, Griezmann was at Atletico Madrid. He endured around 5 years with them. Atletico Madrid have also got Luis Suarez. Don't forget, Luis Suarez is a former Liverpool player. Atletico Madrid have also got Joe Felix. They've also got Hector Herrera. Atletico Madrid have also got Thomas Lemar. He's a former Monaco player. They've also got Koke. Atletico Madrid have also got Kieran Trippier. Manchester United have been linked with him before. Kieran Trippier is a former Tottenham player. Atletico Madrid have also got Jimenez. And one of their goalkeepers is Jan Oblak. So they are quite a few of the players that Atletico Madrid have got. Manchester United are away to Atletico Madrid in the first leg. By the way, David De Gea will be reuniting with Atletico Madrid. Obviously, Atletico Madrid is De Gea's former club. Let me also put into the equation that Ronaldo has got a very good goal scoring record against Atletico Madrid. So reflecting on that, Cristiano Ronaldo loves them. Manchester United have got a chance of getting to the last 8 of the Champions League, but I can't see Manchester United winning the Champions League. Manchester United, the last time they won the Champions League was back in 2008. We beat Chelsea in the final on penalties. Anyway, I can assure at the end of the season that Manchester United will get a permanent manager. And it could be Ralf Rangnick, if he does well as the interim manager. Revert back to what I mentioned earlier on in the video. Erik Ten Hag, he's been linked with a permanent role at Man United. I'm hearing he's the favourite to become Man United's next permanent manager. Where revert back to earlier on in the season, it did say that Erik Ten Hag is said to be interested in the Manchester United job in the summer, and Ajax will not stand in his way if he wants to leave. Now, last week, Edwin van der Sar spoke about Manchester United's interest in Erik ten Hag, and Edwin van der Sar believes Ajax could lose Erik ten Hag in the summer. The other week, he said Edwin van der Sar expects a Man United role in the future. I'd like to see Edwin van der Sar come back to the club. Edwin van der Sar is the former Manchester United goalkeeper. Van der Sar endured 6 years as a goalkeeper for Man United, and he won 4 Premier League titles, the Community Shield. He won the League Cup as well, and he won the Champions League. Edwin van der Sar's obviously a CEO at Ajax now. He's worked as a CEO at Ajax since 2016. Revert back to the other week, Roberto Mancini was also mentioned as well. The Metro did say that Man United consider hiring Roberto Mancini instead of Mauricio Pochettino, but recently Roberto Mancini denied becoming Manchester United's next permanent manager. Roberto Mancini is the Italy manager. Well, he's been in charge of Italy since 2018. Revert back to last summer, he won the European Championship with Italy. Mancini's got a contract with Italy until 2026. Around a decade ago, Mancini managed Man City, and when he was the manager of Man City, he won the Premier League, the Community Shield, and did he win the FA Cup? Brendan Rodgers has been linked with a permanent role at Man United before. I initially disregarded Brendan Rodgers becoming Man United's next permanent manager because earlier on this season it said that Brendan Rodgers dismissed links to the Man United job, and he come out and said that I'm proud to be at Leicester. But at one point it did say that Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire. So that stirred some suggestions up, and at that point it said Brendan Rodgers was the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Mauricio Pochettino, he's been spoken a lot about as well. You know, Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, Manchester United sacked David Moyes after 10 months, then Man United sacked Louis van Gaal after like 2 years. Man United did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Mourinho enjoyed one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the Carabao Cup, and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, because obviously the board weren't recommending the players that Mourinho wanted in, and Mourinho had bad disputes with the board, top players as well. So that's why. And over 3 weeks ago, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. As you all know, after Solskjaer got sacked, Solskjaer did a farewell interview. He got emotional in that farewell interview, which of course was understandable. Because obviously Solskjaer adores the club, and Solskjaer was part of the club for a long time. He was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years, and he endured 11 years as a player for Man United, so that's almost 14 years in total. By the way, I heard that Solskjaer sent some Christmas presents to the staff at Carrington not so long ago. You know, Solskjaer's welcome back to the club at any time. Despite Solskjaer getting sacked just over 3 weeks ago now, all United fans still adore Solskjaer, and obviously there's still United fans that are chanting his name, obviously reflecting on what he did for the club. Manchester United made the right decision sacking him. I don't think they really wanted to sack him, but they was left with no choice in the end but to sack him. Manchester United paid Solskjaer around 7.5 million because revert back to last summer, he signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year, and Manchester United did make a mistake giving him that contract. Because we knew for a long time that he wasn't the long-term manager for Man United. But revert back to the last few months of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, the performances were terrible, and the results were terrible to go with the bad performances. And it was obvious, that the players were not playing for Solskjaer. But not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer, reflecting on those poor performances. Yes, Solskjaer was accountable for some things, his tactics and his team selections were questioned a lot. But there was also players that had to take responsibility for those poor performances as well. When Solskjaer was Man United manager at the start of this season, I did mention that, this season was always going to be massive for him, and, plus the pressure was on Solskjaer. Because revert back to last summer, Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. Manchester United made 4 signings? 3 of the 4 signings were major signings. Manchester United must have spent around 141 million last summer. And plus, last summer, Solskjaer received very strong backing from the board. The Glazers backed him, Ed Woodward backed him, our director of football, John Murtaugh, backed him, and Darren Fletcher backed him. But I just feel as though that the expectations were far too high for Solskjaer to exceed, as United manager. When Solskjaer was United manager, he did not win a trophy, and I said he wasn't capable of winning trophies as a manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017, so I'm hoping Man United can win a trophy under Ralph Rangnick. Solskjaer did get appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. Solskjaer was the interim manager in his first 3 months. He obviously did well as the interim manager, so obviously the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. Manchester United spent over £400 million under Solskjaer, didn't they? When Solskjaer was Man United manager, he did sign 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. Then in January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. Then in the summer of 2020, last year, Solskjaer recommended Edison Cavani and Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And then obviously, in this year's summer transfer window, when Ole was United manager, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. Let me put into the equation as well, when Solskjaer was Man United manager, he got rid of a lot of players. He loaned players out and, he got rid of players permanently. Some progress was made, when Solskjaer was United manager, because revert back to his first full season, he got Man United to 3 semi-finals. He also got Man United a 3rd place finish, and then in his second full season, when he was United manager, he got Man United to the Carabao Cup semi-final. He got Man United to the FA Cup quarter-final. Also got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final when he was United manager, but unfortunately he didn't win it. So there you go, and last season got Man United a 2nd place finish. Don't forget as well, when Man United had Solskjaer, Man United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager, does he? The clubs he's managed in his managerial career so far, obviously managed Man United's reserve team, then obviously managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Obviously Solskjaer enjoyed 2 spells with Mulder. He won a few Norwegian titles with them, but they're not a big club. And of course he managed Manchester United's senior squad. Ole, when he was a United player, he had a proven pedigree because he won a lot of trophies when he was a Man United player. And his most iconic moment when he was a United player was when he scored the winning goal at the Nou Camp in the Champions League final back in 1999, because Solskjaer won the club the treble. And Solskjaer as a player, I think he scored 126 goals in 366 appearances in all competitions. So there you go. Next year, Ralf Rangnick will be offloading players. He'll also be bringing some players in as well. Next year, I think the players we're going to be offloading is Martial. You know the news on Anthony Martial anyway. Prior to the Norwich game, Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Man United in January because he's demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Man United. He's only started 2 games in the league so far this season. Cavani, I think he's also leaving next year as well. I'm hearing that Juventus want him. Barcelona are keen on signing Edinson Cavani in January, but only for a modest price. The other week it said Cavani's interested in making a move to Barcelona. Juan Mata, I think he's leaving next year. Lingard, I think he's also leaving next year. There's a good chance Van der Beek will leave in January. I think Matic is leaving next year. Pogba, if he leaves next year, he will leave next summer. He won't leave in January, midway through the season. Well, before the Norwich game, it did say that Ralf Rangnick will not try to persuade Paul Pogba to stay at Man United if he wants to go. You know, Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. As you all know, Pogba's not available at the moment. He's out with a thigh injury. He's out for the rest of the year. Tellez and Delors, who are our second choice fullbacks, I think there's a chance that they'll be leaving next year. Let's be honest, they only really seem to play when our first choice fullbacks are available, and our first choice fullbacks are Shaw and Bissaka. I think Jones and Bailly are leaving next year as well, and Dean Henderson's confirmed that he wants a loan move away from Man United. Henderson doesn't get in goal now because last summer De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson was in goal for the draw against Young Boys last week, but that was only his second appearance of the season. Revert back to earlier on this season, Henderson had COVID. So anyway, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.